I got a comment today. I love your channel, but I disagree on alcoholism being a disease. When someone's driving down the road with your two little sons in the back and they have a cup in their hand where they're throwing up alcohol but need to drink it again because they need it, I think that's a disease. I think when somebody has to go to a store and steal a bottle of vanilla extract because it's 70% alcohol behind the family's back, oh, that's a disease. And she goes into several different examples here and ends up, for God's sake, this must be a disease. It can't be just you're hell-bent on destroying yourself. If you are, it's a mental disease. What the F is up? You know, I understand this from an emotional point of view. You're seeing very specific circumstances. You're seeing something which is, I suppose, emotionally hurtful to you to look at it. You know, to look at somebody with kids in the back of the car and they're drinking alcohol and they're, you know, obviously in some kind of emotional pain, then it's a difficult thing to look at. I agree with you. But what we do is we attach this emotional fix, our emotional fix, by the way, not theirs, onto what they're doing in order to rationalize it to ourselves. And it's an easy thing to do. It's an easy thing for us to, it's an easy thing for doctors to do as well, for medics to say, well, this person has got alcoholism because that's what fits the scenario. You know, they wouldn't be doing this if they didn't have the disease of alcoholism. And I don't, you know, sometimes you have to ask yourself, what comes first? Is it the alcohol, or is it the problems? You know, are the problems being caused by the alcohol, or is the alcohol, or are the problems already there and the alcohol is just being used as a means to an end? And I think it's mostly the second and sometimes the first. You know, you're obviously, if you drink a lot over the years, any amount of alcohol, it's all about opportunity cost in this life. When you spend your time or your money or your health doing something, you know, when you pour poison into your body, there is an opportunity cost to that. The opportunity cost to your health is better health. The opportunity cost to your time is what you could be doing with the other time. And all of these things all of these people that you're talking about, you have to take in their situations in context, in their personal context. And this is the problem with the word alcoholic or heavy drinker or dependent drinker. It's a catch-all phrase that doesn't solve anything. You know, there's a lot underneath that phrase. There's a lot of sociological, cultural, physiological, psychological elements that make up whether a person is having problems in their lives. And unfortunately, those kinds of problems are very difficult to deal with or to solve for somebody. So it's a lot easier for a doctor. You walk into a doctor's office and you've got 5 minutes with him or her, and it's easier for them to diagnose alcoholism rather than go through your life and to actually fix what needs to be fixed in order for you to lead a life where you don't want to drink alcohol. That's the way I see it. You know, it's just, I think, you know, for you to be looking at a person like that, it's a natural instinct. You know, you don't know the person from Adam. You know, you see, I think it was a woman you were talking about in the first one, where she had 2 children in the back of her car and she's drinking in the front, vomiting, and then drinking the vomit back. I think that's what you were saying, in order to, you know, this person has got, you know, like I say, it's easy for you to sort of look at the alcohol and say, well, that's what's causing the problem, rather than saying, well, you know, how many problems does a person have to have in their lives where that natural maternal instinct that a woman will have will be overridden by the desire to disappear from her life, to disappear from her problems. Do you get what I mean? So, like I say, I'm not saying that this person hasn't caused her problems because of alcohol. You know, there is always that part of things. You know, the more you drink, the less time you have to do the other good things in your life that you need to do in order to have a good life. The more you drink, the less physical health you've got. The less physical health you've got, the less psychological health you've got, the less you are capable of dealing with any problems in life. So it's like a vicious circle. And for me, when the old question is whether the alcohol comes first or the problems, it's always the alcohol. It's always the alcohol that is part of the problem. It's not ever part of the solution, although unfortunately for so many people, because they don't have the education, they don't have the skills, they don't have the knowledge, they might be in just such dire positions and they don't have the help, the real help to see them through and to help them to move on and to make better choices. It's alcohol can seem to be the only solution there. So I hope that helps. That's it's not meant to be a cover-all. It's not meant to cover all the bases here. It's just to give you sort of a different perspective on that idea that to automatically look at somebody like they're an alcoholic. It's just, there's so many different people out there, so many different organizations, including governments and the drinks companies, the alcohol industry themselves, who are reliant on the term alcoholic and everything that swims around that term to stay in fashion, because if they don't, there's a lot of businesses, there's a lot of money going to be lost. So we have to start looking at the context of these people's problems. Look at how these people got into the problems in the first place. Look at how you can fix different problems in people's lives. Look at how you can give them the opportunities so that they can be happy in their day-to-day existence, that they don't want to escape. That's part of the problem. So take care of yourself. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel. You can click on the link down below. If you've got any questions or any comments that you'd like to see me doing videos on, then please as well leave them down in the comment section below. And I will speak to you again soon. All right, take care of yourself. Kevin O'Hara for habitsunplugged.com. Onwards and upwards. Keep the alcohol out of your mouth.